Welcome to Sean Matthews podcast. Joe, how you doing today?
Very well, Sean. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty well, man. The lyrics for today, I have finally seen the light and I have finally realized what you mean. That's a song called Madness by the band Muse from their album The Second Law, and that album was released in 2012. I actually just saw that band last Sunday in Philadelphia, not this past Sunday, the Sunday before that. They were amazing live. Muse was sick. I've been waiting to see them for years. They're on my bucket list. You never know when a band's going to break up or what the hell is going to happen. I mean, Panic at the Disco, I love that band too. They just broke up. Brendan announced they're breaking up. But I actually saw Panic at the Disco recently too, but that was like in the fall. But my point is, you never know when the band's going to break up. You get a chance to see your band, go see them, enjoy the show. This is life advice right there. But yeah. Joe, what do you think about those lyrics, man?
I think the lyrics themselves can be applied to numerous things. I flipped on the video and got a little piece of the song. It's a pretty cool song. It's an interesting video. But I guess in a quick take for me, it was just about a tumultuous relationship that he eventually, or he or she, they both eventually saw the light and realized that it was just the crazy times and all the pressure keeping them together. And it seemed to me like they were both ready to make a move to end the madness, so to speak. I don't know. That's what I got out of it.
As like, because another lyrics are, I have finally seen the end. I'm not expecting you to care. That I have finally seen the light, and I have finally realized I need your love. I need your love. So it's one of those things where, sometimes it takes too long for you to realize how important a person is to you or important a thing is to you in life. And then you realize suddenly, you know what I mean? It's like you finally see that light. But sometimes when you do see that light, when you realize what someone means to you, they can't match that energy. They can't be there when you need them. So it kind of drives you a little bit mad thinking about it. Because the beginning of the song, I can't get these memories out of my mind, and the madness starts to evolve. You know what I mean? It's like this song's a really mellow, chill song. It's not a song that's going to get you super hyped, but it is a sick song. They played it live. I loved it live. So yeah, that's the lyrics today. Madness by Muse. By the way, they're an English rock band, so they're from England. Joe, didn't the Final Four just surprise you at all, man? We have to talk about that first, because I got bumbled there for a second because I want to open up with some other stuff, but the Final Four, really, we have to address this really, really quickly here. I mean, Florida Atlantic is in the Final Four, dude.
Yeah, they're surprising everyone, and everybody. I mean, the Aztecs. I mean, I think the one that's not a surprise is UConn. And they're dusting everybody off by about 15 to 20 points. And I guess that's why they're favorite, and probably justifiably so.
Yeah. The crazy thing about UConn, man, like in November, I texted my friend. I said UConn national champs. And it was early, but I saw them on TV just dominating one of these games. I was like, dude, they're pretty good. But then like the Big East is really tough, and they had a tough schedule. But the schedule was tough. They had like a 6-game losing streak, but now they're just straight out dominant. They are dominant right now. I think they're really going to beat Miami. The crazy part about it is, the other team that's going to be in the final is going to be like a friggin', just like an 8 or 9 seed, pretty much.
Yeah. It's certainly a different Final Four. My heart was kind of with Gonzaga because I think they had a pretty good squad a couple of years running. But that's what the tournament is, I'll say this. I'll say UConn. UConn is the favorite, justifiably so. But watch that Miami team, the way they can shoot.
Miami is kind of a weird team to me because they have this new thing in basketball, national name, image, and likeness, NIL. And Miami has this rich guy, Ruiz. And basically schools, they have these donors. They're allowed to basically just pay the players direct. They set up a fund. They pay the players, they sponsor them, that type of thing. This guy Ruiz spent like millions of dollars to get like 3 transfers in there. And I'm kind
Mhm.
of scared for college basketball because there used to be a rule if you want to transfer, you got to sit out a year. Now you don't have to sit out a year. So you can literally just buy players from other schools and you can just like contact them and get them to your school. And like it's almost turning into the pros. And Miami's like, it's tough to root for a team like that. Like it was, I'm a big Villanova fan and we take pride. We took pride because things are going to change now because we have to adapt to the NIL. We got to get more transfers in because we don't have a lot of guys coming out next year. But I took pride in having our 4-year guys, the guys that graduate, learning to know those guys and watch them play and get, for all 4 years or at least for a couple of years, right? And then
Yeah.
Miami just like, they just pay like 3 guys to come to the school and say, hey, let's go do it. And I think like I want the college players to be paid, but I don't want them to be like hired guns and just like go from hired mercenaries and guns, just go from school to school. I'm like, there's also things positive about it. Like you could turn a bad team around in 1 year. Like you can go from being horrible and the next year you could be great. But Miami is just like, I don't know a lot about the Ruizes, but they have a lot of money. So these schools are like a lot of money. And then the enticing them to go to South Beach in Miami. They've been an okay program. They're more known for football, right? Like Michael Irvin and stuff. You know what I mean? Like Ray
Yeah.
Lewis, right? But they I don't know. I mean, it was impressive how they came back, last game. I thought Texas had that game, but we'll talk more about this during sports. But I just wanted to like kind of get you thinking about this, Joe. I mean, it's wild. Villanova's national title in '85 was probably the biggest upside ever. But if Florida Atlantic wins this year, that might outweigh what Villanova did in '85 because a lot of Florida Atlantic guys are like unsung guys. But it's going to be a good Final Four, I think. Anybody who made a bet on any of those teams to make the Final Four, if they bet all four, because I was listening to the Dan Patrick show and he said, well, one of the guys on the staff, they call him the Danettes. This guy,
Right.
his wife doesn't know a lot about basketball, so he claims, and she just randomly did the bracket, and she chose the exact Final Four that we have here. And she only did it because she lived in California. She lived in San Diego, so she chose San Diego. She lived in Florida, so she chose Miami. She chose Florida Atlantic, and she lives in Connecticut now. And she got all 4 teams right. And it's crazy because like it's all like luck and chance in this stuff. And she just did that just based on those feelings and intuitions and just like, hey, I'll have fun with this. But less than like 0.001% of brackets had all four of those teams making it. And somebody said, like, if you would have bet $100 on all those 4 teams to make it, you could have won $9 million.
Yeah, but that's a big if. I want to tell you something though. I look at this thing really, and I look at it, and although UConn is the favorite, I could see any one of these teams. And I'm going to tell you, there's something about those Aztecs that's a little bit different. They beat Alabama. They beat the number one team, the ranked number one team in the country. They beat them. So
Yeah, they're
uh,
good. They're pretty good, man.
they're pretty good. And I like that center. He's really good. He'll slap people's stuff away nice and clean. He's really good in there. They've got length. They got some size. I could see them messing around and winning the whole thing. So we'll
Yeah,
see what happens.
I mean, I think UConn's the favorite.
Yeah,
I've watched a lot of UConn
but
this year. I mean, we played them. Villanova played them twice, and if they have a lot of talent, but if Hawkins is having a bad game, really anything could happen. Miami relies on certain players, and they have a nice mix actually. But this guy Isaiah Wong, what I was talking about the NIL, he threatened to leave school before the season if he didn't get enough money, and they met his demands. So that's what it kind of rubs me the wrong way. The college players are making demands and threats to leave to get paid more. Like
yeah.
it should occur naturally, right? It should occur like, okay, like I'm going to get paid. I don't have to go to the pros early. I can stay in college and get my degree while still making money. I think there has to be a nice balance. It shouldn't be like, okay, I'm just going to jump to this school and they recruit me, they're paying me like $2 million, this and that. But I digress. This is something that's been on my mind. The Final Four is going to be exciting for sure. So
And
yeah,
it is, Sean. But the only thing I want to bring with it is how many times have you seen? You say, okay, you got 4 teams left. This team is clear. All they have to do is continue to do what they've been doing and not make mistakes. And, so to me, if I'm on UConn right now, I'm feeling the pressure. I'm feeling the heat because it's like everyone expects us to, like, we're here. We're the best, they're quote unquote the best team left. We should get this thing done. There's a lot of pressure. Now, if things don't start to go their way, things can happen. I think that especially in a tournament like this, I don't know. Like I said, I understand why UConn's favorite. They're smoking people. But let one little thing go wrong, and I think that, and we've seen this time after time after time. So I'm just I don't think Florida Atlantic is. I think that's really a Cinderella.
The thing about them,
Any one of these other middle teams, the San Diego or Florida, I like the Aztecs. But go ahead.
Florida Atlantic, my friend told me this, and this changed my opinion on them a couple games ago. He told me they're the number one 3-point shooting team in the country. Florida Atlantic. And I was like, okay, let me think about this. Because they on the way to the Final Four, it wasn't like an easy road. They had a couple tough games there. I believe they're playing. Who were they playing? Let me see this.
I think they had formidable opponents all the way through that Florida Atlantic.
But like there was one game where they were like losing, and then they stormed back, and I think it was because they were hitting threes. But I digress. We're not gonna break it down. Maybe more in sports later today, but. Just want to talk about some stuff that's been going on. But yeah, I just had my second half of my root canal today. So I'm glad I got that over with. But then, I went to see Bruce Springsteen in Washington, D.C. Last night. I decided to go, on the last second yesterday. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go see Bruce in D.C. A ticket popped up for a reasonable price. I went. But I did a review for Rofo soda pop, blue raspberry soda pop. They sell it at Royal Farms, the stores on the, there are a lot of them on the way to like DC, and they're all, they're usually off the highways or whatever. But I did the review, and coincidentally enough, like 10 minutes later, I'm eating a turkey wrap while I'm driving, and I'm eating a turkey wrap, and I feel like my tooth cracked. I'm like, holy shit, like what just happened? My tooth cracked. So I spit the food into a napkin, and I tried to go through it later to figure out what the hell was going on. Then I was feeling around my tongue, and the person the endodontist who did my root canal today said like a piece of the crown like fell off, and I'm like, how did that happen? I was eating a turkey wrap. Like what? It wasn't like the soda couldn't have been like drinking acid, right? Like you drink something, next thing you know, your filling falls out, or your tooth falls out. It's like I don't know, and I brush my teeth religiously. So it was something that like. I don't know. It's on my mind. It's annoying because I just finished the root canal today, and I got the crown, but now I have to have this thing checked out. So I got to figure out, Joe, if a dentist gave you a crown, and like crowns are really expensive, would you like opt to go back to that dentist to say, hey, this is like defective. Can you guys fix this? Or would you like, what would you do? Like if they tried to charge you again, what would your mindset be?
Yeah, and you said something to me about this before, and I missed the part about something breaking off and falling off. Because sometimes when you get dental work done, it feels strange for a day or two, and then it feels normal. But this breaking off thing, I didn't really catch that. That's a concern, and that's something that I would go back to him and say, look, I felt something break off here. And I want you to take another look at it because it doesn't feel right. And maybe you need to take another x-ray or whatever, because I'll be honest with you, Sean, I don't know if this is a dentist that you see, if this is a dentist that you've been used to and have been working with for a long, long period of time, that shouldn't even be an issue. Oh yeah, no, get in here. My brother one time, we had our family dentist, and he had some work done on a Friday, and that next day he had problems, and he called in, and the doc said, please get in here today. I don't want you to wait till Monday. I want you in here today. I want to see you. So, yeah, I would bring it up, all your concerns to this guy. And especially if he's new to you, because there's some dentists out there that aren't that good.
No, this guy is like a family dentist. He was very good.
Okay.
Perfect, obviously, but I think I don't know how long. Like I have to have him look up the records, and if they have the records, it's like, okay, this was done like a decade ago. And if he says some BS like, oh, we did it a decade ago, it's out of our hands. I mean, I'm like, dude, I paid like, the crowns cost like a lot of money. Crowns could cost, like, they're porcelain crowns. They can cost like close to $2,000. They're ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
A lot of health insurance doesn't cover it. So it's really annoying, but I digress. Bruce Springsteen was amazing. This time, in DC, I sat quote unquote in the nosebleeds, but, truth be told, they weren't really nosebleeds because they were side staged, like pretty much right, right in front of the pit. But obviously, like in the 400 section, way up there. But there was no one behind me because apparently, when you sit up too high in the nosebleeds, I guess at sports games, a lot of people stand up. So you can't lean forward because that blocks someone's view. So you got to sit back. This is the strat. I was reading all about the strategies, and I haven't really sat in the nosebleeds in a long, long time. But I had a great time. Everyone around it, we were all giving each other high fives, and like these are strangers. We didn't know each other when the night started. Bruce is playing. We're like, people are drinking and stuff, and I wasn't really drinking because obviously I was driving home. But the guy in front of me was getting pretty blitzed. He had like 7 beer cans next to his seat. He was with this girl, and the guy next to me with the girl, he's having a good time, but they were letting loose, man. They were just like giving me high fives, and we're just enjoying Bruce. The guy next to me actually never saw Bruce before, but he's seen Billy Joel. And he looked like he was very impressed. So Bruce Springsteen, 73 years old, still operating at a godlike level, putting on a great show, continues to play Thunder Road. He played Thunder Road at Penn State. He played Thunder Road in DC. I'm seeing him at Prudential Center in a couple weeks. I'm hoping because it's the last show in New Jersey before he goes to Europe. I'm hoping he does that because he's from New Jersey, right? It's like, I hope he does something so special at that show. Like he plays like 2 songs that he hasn't played all tour. Because he hasn't played Jungle Land, he hasn't played The River.
The River you can keep, but Jungle Land is like when you say Bruce, my mind goes right there.
What's your opinion of Tunnel of Love?
Tunnel of Love?
Have you ever heard that? His song called Tunnel of Love.
I can't even remember that.
It's from like 1987. But I was asking my mom today because my parents aren't really Bruce fans. They think he's too liberal. And because he started getting real political and like he's buddies with Obama, and they're like, oh, his ticket prices are too high and stuff. Like they're totally buying the propaganda. It's BS. He's a great guy. During the show, he didn't talk politics at all. But I asked my mom like what songs she likes. And she was basically saying, she's like, I think I like Pink Cadillac and Tunnel of Love. And I was cracking up. I'm like, really non-hardcore Bruce fans like these kind of like cookie cutter songs. Like Tunnel of Love is a really good song. But Pink Cadillac, what do you think about that one?
It like you said, it was just one of these. It's like, I don't know. It's just a song that he did that was probably played on the radio a skillion times a week, and I was like, okay, but it's not hardcore. It's not, it's not.
I don't think he's played. I don't know if
you know what it is, Sean. Well, I'm a Stones freak, and people say, oh yeah, I like the one song. I can't get no Satisfaction. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, they know like one song and like they judge.
Yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but go ahead.
That's I forgot what I was going to say anyway. But but anyway, I don't want to ramble here. But Bruce is amazing. I recommend to anybody out there. What I also say about concerts is like the set lists are available online. There's literally a website with all set lists on it from like shows going back years and years. If you go to a concert and you only know, like he played 27 songs, if you only know 5 out of 27 songs, like that's you're spending hundreds of dollars on tickets. I mean, come on, like listen to the song, do your homework, listen to the music before, do some, you'll get into it, listen to each song like 3 times. And once you go to that concert, you can sing along with every song and be really into it. There might be songs you just straight up don't like, but when you hear it for the first time at a concert, like at least for me, it's like, how could you really get into that? Because the thing that was annoying me, the section next to me, our section was all standing up for the most part, but the section next to me was full of like because Bruce fans is a lot of older people, but they were like sitting down the whole time until his encore. He played 7 songs during the encore. But I was looking, I like to study the crowd. I like to, see what's going on with the energy and look all around and stuff, especially people near me. Even afar, I try to see if they're dancing, standing up, but they didn't know, like they were just like, they looked like they were sleeping during some of the songs, and I'm dancing my heart out, and I'm just vibing, and I'm singing, and I'm like, holy crap, man! These people, like, I know I'm not. It's nothing. I don't think it has to do anything with being old. Maybe it's a generational thing, but also it's like, do they know these songs? Like, how much money did they spend on these tickets, man? Like, come on, do some homework.
Well, if I ever do that, I'm going to be spending tickets to see the man in person and like, wow, this is a bucket list thing because this is Bruce Springsteen, brah. And if he does 25 songs, and if maybe 16 of them I know and the rest I don't know, I don't care. I need a little break. I need a little break anyway to chill. You know what I mean? So
16 is different than friggin', going in with like five, or some people, like you
I
said,
can't imagine
they'll
like
spend
me
thousands
going,
of dollars. They'll spend thousands of dollars in the Stones. And then they'll be like, when are they going to play? I can't get no satisfaction, and that type of thing.
yeah, it's one of the, I'm sure that if I'm not going to start taking a prerequisite course and all this kind of stuff. Listen, there are going to be some songs that he plays if I ever go see him. There are going to be some songs that he plays that there's brand new to me. It's like, okay, that's cool. I need a chance to like run to the bathroom anyway, or go relax a little bit. I don't want to be up and dancing the whole time. I'm not 25 anymore. And as a matter of fact, I mean, I would probably surmise that 2/3 of what he does will be familiar and 1/3 will be unfamiliar. And I'm prepared for that. And I'm more than happy with it. And it'd be a chance just to check out, oh, this is his new stuff. Okay, that's cool. Let me just slow down here and just dig. And maybe I'll like it. Maybe I won't. But I'm not going to try to force feed myself to like the damn thing or to sing along
Yeah.
with something.
No, it's not about
So
that, but like
it's a
it's like,
difference of opinion. That's all.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean?
but it kills the energy when, like last night, like I was having a great time, but every time I looked to my right and saw some people in that section sitting down, I was like, it literally like drained some of my energy. I'm like, wow, I'm just not gonna look at those people anymore.
Well, they're probably thinking, they may be looking over your section thinking, these people, what are they doing? What are they doing? Speed over here? Won't they chill the hell out for a couple of minutes? Everything's relative. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's weird. It's just one of those things. So
yeah.
to each his own. Go to the concert, have a good time.
Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I saw two movies. They'll do quick movie reviews here. Today I saw a movie called A Good Person with Morgan Freeman and Florence Pugh. I will admit I kind of have a crush on Florence Pugh. I didn't know a ton about her, but she did a really good job in this movie. I mean, she basically plays a girl who's she's engaged, and she's driving her fiance's sister and husband in the car. She looks at her phone for a second and crashes the car and kills them. And then the whole family that her fiance like hates her now, because even though she wasn't drunk, I don't want to give details about the movie. This is all in the preview pretty much, but she goes into real depression because she killed her boyfriend's sister.
Oh, is this the decent person, good person thing?
Good person, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I want to see that. Go ahead.
And then all this other stuff happens. You watch her kind of depressed, kind of get addicted to some things, and I'm not going to give it all away, but I thought it was a good movie. I think it's written, directed, or at least directed by Zach Braff, who was in Scrubs. I used to love that show. I give it a 6.8. I think it was a good movie, and I think it was well made and everything. I don't know if there's much, like I always say, there's more that they could have done. I don't know if there's much more that they could have done with this particular story. Like there was not a lot of people today is Tuesday, but there was not a lot of people in the theater, and that just gives you a feel for how the box office. I got to check the box office, but I'm pretty sure this one came in probably not even top 5, but 6.8. Solid, heartwarming movie, Joe. I think it's a movie you'll really like for sure. But
I've seen the previews. It looks good.
Yeah, my scores are like kind of like I don't want to I don't know. Getting into the 7s is kind of tough. Getting into the 8s is really tough. I use a Dave Portnoy pizza scale, so it's like I set high standards. But I saw John Wick 4 with Keanu Reeves, and that movie got like amazing reviews. And it's an action movie, and I love action movies, but they're not my favorite. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's the movies and the way the killings in that movie, the way they're killing people and they're fighting, and the way the guys are dying and all this, they have really creative kills, and the villains are kind of cool. It has a ridiculously high rating on IMDb. Last time I checked, it was like an 8.5, but I want to be conservative with my score just because it's from my perspective and how I feel about it and the genre. I'm going 7.6. Entertaining as hell, but I'm just not feeling it as much as like most other people might be. People live for the John Wick franchise, man.
I can't understand it for the life. Listen, I like stories about life, about real stuff, even if it's about joking around and comedy, or if it's serious stuff or whatever. But I can't get into these things where it's such horse shit that a guy does 3 somersaults and kicks another guy across the room, and then his car blows up, and then he's running out of the building just in time, and he dives out the front door just as the building's blowing. It's like, for Christ's sake, get out of here with this stupid horse shit all the time. I can't take it. And it's just, I just can't, I can't do it. And I don't see the entertainment value in it. I've seen about I guess maybe when these movies started in the 80s, I could go for it a little bit, and after a while it was just like, what are we doing here? It's just so far-fetched, so ridiculous.
Did you like the Die Hard franchise with Bruce Willis?
You know, I liked the first couple, and who can ever forget that Yippee-ki-yay? But after a while, even that got kind of like, yeah. And Bruce Willis, prayers to him.
What about
He's battling dementia right now. But it's even him. It just got a little ridiculous, man.
what about like Terminator and Rambo? How do you feel about those?
Terminator. And it's funny you said it, because just a couple months ago, I went back and I said, let me mess around and watch the original Terminator again. I'm a friend of Sarah Connor's. I was told she was here. I mean,
when we worked together at one point, or I met, when I first started stuff, we met through, it was funny. You guys have a quote from the Terminator, like something about a six can short of a six pack or something like that, or whatever.
Oh yeah. He was in the very beginning. He's walking. He's got no clothes on because he just got dropped out of a vacuum or whatever it was. I forget what they called it, the defense grid or whatever the hell it was. He just plopped right in the middle of a asphalt parking lot at night, bare naked. He's walking up on these jerk offs, these 3 or 4 kids with the spiked hair and this and that. And he walks up to them and he says, and they're laughing at him going, yo, man, this dude's a little bit off and this and that. And he goes, your clothes, give them to me now. And the one guy looks at him and goes, yo, man, this dude's a couple cans short of a six pack. It was just funny. So he grabs the kid by the neck and just rips his shirt off and just throws him. The other guy's taking his pants, throws his pants, and they take off. And it was just a funny scene.
Yeah. So I interrupted you during the Terminator. What were you saying? You're basically saying like you watched the OG one recently.
But it was creative, Sean. It was like the futuristic and because I remember watching it when it first came out. It's like, wow, can you imagine this? Like way in the future, and now like we are, way past. But and then looking back to 1984 or whatever it was. That I just wanted to get a perspective, and I wanted to see that film in its purity, and it was really good, and it was creative. It really was. Now it was science fiction, and I saw the next couple, whatever. I can go with that, and I can go with Rambo because albeit, it's exaggerated a little bit, but the idea, that notion of them having a guy that's really, proficient at this kind of a thing. And he got into all kinds of, it starts to get too much MacGyver bullshit in it, but
you remember the beginning of the movie? Like, didn't the beginning of the movie, they told him to leave town, like get out of here, leave town, like that type. Do you remember that? Like there's like a small town, and then they chase him through the woods and stuff.
I can't remember Rambo other than them having some problems with a foreign enemy, or some people trapped like still in Vietnam or something like that. And the one guy says, I only know one guy that will do this, John Rambo. And so they call him up, and he comes in and he gets his assignment, and he goes about his business through the jungle, and he uses a lot of the skills that he acquired during wartime to help, and that I can see. Even that's a little bit, and I'm not afraid to stretch my imagination a little. But when you've got 110-pound women flying across the room doing, sophisticated judo and kicking a guy, when you got a 110-pound woman that kicks 4 guys' asses that are standing around, I mean, there's just no way it's going to happen, brah. There's stuff like that, and especially Keanu Reeves is a badass.
No, dude, he's a great person in real life, but he's also a fantastic actor, and like I'm telling you, bro. One thing I'll say, like, you like Terminator, you like you don't like the ridiculous things that happen. Like some of the fight scenes are crazy, obviously.
Yeah,
what I'll say, man, I think you would actually check out the first John Wick, man. I think you actually might mess around and like that movie, man.
You're trying to get me to. I might. I don't know.
No, I'm telling you, man. It's actually like I gave it like 7.6 is high for me, and like I only gave it that low of a score compared to everyone else because it's like the genre is just not like my favorite, and like I'm kind of like partial to the 80s action movies, like we just discussed those other movies. So that's that. But I think, I think you could get into Rambo. I'm not Rambo, John Wick for sure. But anyway, do you still play Wordle? The game Wordle, the word game, 5 letters.
Yeah, and yesterday, man, that was not a.
That one was, I got that, but I complained on Twitter. I'm like, because I looked up after I got the word, I just got it by guessing. I was just messing around, putting in letters and stuff, and I saw the word. I'm like, what is this word? So I tweeted at the New York Times. I'm like, you guys got to do better than this because nobody know. I said less than 1% of the population knows what that word meant. That word was absurd.
Yeah, that was. It
Well, you
was.
want to hear something crazy, dude? When I first started playing, like within like my first 30 times playing,
Mhm.
I got it in one try. I got the word light, Light. It just popped into my head. I typed the first thing that I thought. I got it light. Last week, dude, I did it again. The word was grout, Grout. I got it in one
I
try.
remember that.
The chances of that? I got it 2 times. I got it in one try. It was insane. Like,
I type the same first word in all the time, and I do it for strategy reasons. So I don't know if
yeah, I do a different one, dude. I do a
it'll
different one every
never give.
time.
Well, it's the same one every time, but it'll never give me the first chance because they know that a lot of people type in that same word up top as a way to eliminate a lot of vowels and stuff. So I'm not worried about that, but it is. I
That's
must
the thing,
commend
though.
you on it.
I always use a different word. I just go off what I'm feeling. I go off my intuition and what just pops in my mind, dude. Like the
Hmm.
fact that I got it twice kind of gives me a weird kind of feeling. I'm like, wait, how is it possible that I got this? Like, what are the odds of getting it once? But then what are the odds of getting it twice? It's like it kind of freaked me out a little bit. I'm like, man, if I get this 3 times, man, I'm gonna have to really start thinking about being a psychic or something like that.
No, no, no. Then you're going to go to your playlist and get all worked up. Don't worry about it. Come
um, Yeah, so dude, how about Saturday? What was it, Saturday night, man? Where I was looking at Bruce tickets, and I was on Reddit, and like I want to avoid the StubHub because StubHub charges you. I'll give you an example. The ticket's 400, you're gonna pay 515. You're paying 115 more. They're taking a large percentage, right? Plus they're taking it from the seller. So like say that someone buys it for 400, it's 515 with fees. How much is the seller getting? So I think it's a little ridiculous with all the fees. So I went on Reddit and I went on the Bruce Springsteen Reddit thread and I was like, hey, I'm looking for a solo. I'm looking for seats. I'm like, anybody got any deals? I just don't want to, pay the fees. I'm looking for a good deal, that type of thing. And of course, the scammers come out of the woodwork. And next thing you know, some guy's telling me like he only accepts Venmo because then I looked it up. Venmo basically, if you send someone money and there's no way and they don't send you the tickets, they just disappear forever and you can't get it back from Venmo. There's no buyer protection. So PayPal has buyer protection for goods and services. So, I was talking to you on the phone. I'm like, dude, like what the hell should I do, man? What do I do here? Like, should I send this guy like some money and just trust him? Like I wasn't going to do that obviously, but you heard the questions I was asking him, how thorough I was being.
on.
There's a lot of scammers. And, if someone tells, I tried to do it. I'm like, can you dox yourself? Can you send me a photo of you? Can you send me a video of you with the ticket? They're saying like, this is the ticket. This is the row. I promise to send the ticket. They wouldn't do any of that. And then another guy said he would take PayPal because PayPal protects you. If you click goods and services, PayPal will get your money back. But this other guy was like, oh, don't click goods and services because I sold the tickets to a festival and it's $790. And the buyer had goods and services and the buyer complained to PayPal and they literally just took the money out of my account. So I'm thinking like, what's this guy
Yeah,
talking about? Because then I asked him, I'm like, dude, if you really care,
yeah.
because tickets he was talking about, they were like $1,200 seats and he was talking about only like $250 per seat. I'm like, what's going on here? He's like, and they have all the answers. They're like, oh, well, I don't like to sell to scalpers. I don't, it's all scalpers and this type of thing. I'm like, what is, so
Oh,
this
they're
guy's,
good. They have their. Yeah, they have their pre-recorded messages, like responses for your objections. They have those. It's automatic, and that's why they're good. That's hence the story about the
I know
750. You know, the
exactly.
bottom line is he was trying to dissuade you from using PayPal. That's the bottom
Exactly.
line.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's almost like, so I turned the tables on him a little bit. I started messing around. Like the one guy was like, all right, so what is what I need you to do? I need you to record a video with a paper with today's date. I need you to say your name. I need you to say where you get like all these details and stuff. And the guy just ghosted me. Like he got so spooked when I started asking all his demands about to prove he had the tickets before I said the money. Um, anyway, Joe, have you been paying attention to the Gwyneth Paltrow case at all?
A little bit. I know as much as that she had somewhat of a collision with a guy on a ski slope, and he's suing her because He says he has injuries that happened as a result of that, and somehow she didn't bother to help him up or offer to help him up. I think he's in it for the quick buck, and I think she's like not going to settle. Like a lot of times these celebrities will just settle out of court, like get away from me. And I think she's had
I'm
enough.
happy. I'm proud of her, though. I'll say this:
Yeah.
I'm proud of her because she could afford to just pay him off.
Right.
Once you're a celebrity, you start to be targeted. People manipulate situations. They try to look for scenarios where they can sue you.
Yeah.
So this Joker probably saw Gwyneth. He probably realized, oh my God, I just crashed into Gwyneth Paltrow. Light clicks on. I think he didn't sue her for a couple of years, to my understanding. But he probably that was Gwyneth Paltrow. He probably starts thinking about it. He's like, you know what? I'm going to mess around and sue her and get her to pay me off real quick. Now it's in court. But then there's other people saying that he's happy, he's famous now. And I don't know what's going on. Howard Stern show is funny. Like they were talking about how his lawyer is like kissing up to Gwyneth Paltrow. Like she's trying to be her friend and she's like starstruck. And then other people have different views. Like they say that she's like doing that strategically. She's trying to just get Gwyneth comfortable to get her to mess up and that type of thing. But I might just, I've been working and stuff. I haven't been able to watch the trial. Like some people are following it religiously. But it just sounds like a quick cash grab. It sounds like a guy knows Gwyneth Paltrow is rich and famous. Because apparently if you're going down the slope, it's your job to stop. That's the rule. And he was going down the slope. And Gwyneth Paltrow was she wasn't going down. She was the one that got hit. So I don't know how this guy has a case, but again, I haven't done all my research, but what I'm saying, it sounds like a cash grab. The guy sounds like apparently his kids don't like him and stuff. One wouldn't even take the stand for him. So it's something smells fishy about this.
Yeah, and quite frankly, honestly, it looks like a money grab try by this guy. Now, Gwyneth Paltrow she's got a line of products, and she sells a bunch of overpriced horse shit. So, if she loses money too, I'm not going to cry over that either because I'm not crazy about her either, to be honest with you. Well, but go ahead.
I said something smells fishy, but I caught myself because Gwyneth Paltrow released a candle a couple years ago that's supposed to smell like her vagina. So I'll just leave that right there and just, would you want a candle that smells like a vagina in your house?
No, sir.
Okay.
Not unless that vagina was like vanilla almond or something like that. No, brah. Sorry.
So yeah, that's I don't know what to say about that, but
yeah, that's
You had something to say about a holiday, man. There's a holiday going on right now. What is it?
Yeah, and the thing of it is, it's you and I did a couple of months ago, 90 days or whenever the heck it was. We did Christmas. We covered Christmas. We covered Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. Yep.
We covered Kwanzaa. We covered a lot. We covered everything. But we said that we're going to wait for Ramadan until the time is right, till it is Ramadan, because Ramadan in the Islam religion is just like any other religion and should be recognized as such, because we are we talk the talk, so we're going to walk the walk. We're equal to everybody, and so forth and so on. So we do respect, you and I respect all religions and holidays. And I'm going to tell you something. There isn't a religion, Sean, that at some time or another hasn't had a blemish from extremists within. 98% of the people in every religion are pretty damn good, but it only takes a couple of extremists to give you problems. And not only in this religion, Islam, but certainly if you look back through history, I'm telling you, I'm just being real with you. Go back and look, Crusades. We got a bunch of things that any religion is there is no religion that's impervious to scrutiny for things that have gone wrong. That being said, the Islam religion, like Christianity, like Judaism, all good stuff. Okay, so and you and I both condemn any extremist behavior. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Yeah. Okay, so what is Ramadan? Ramadan, I've always wondered, what does it celebrate? It is according to them, it's the month that God revealed the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad through the angel Gabriel. And we know Angel Gabriel through, telling Mary that, hey, you're about to have a baby. Gabriel's a very active fella in lore and so forth. So it's the month that God revealed the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad through the angel Gabriel. Its actual starting date varies every year because they like to begin it on the slender moon or the crescent moon, and that can vary. So there's some astrological things that dictate when it starts. So it may start one year on March 3rd, it may start on March 10th, whatever it is, okay? It lasts for a full month. And what they do to celebrate this on
They
their way
fast,
through
right?
this.
Don't they fast?
They fast, yeah. Adults fast if physically capable every day during this month. And then what it means is now children and elderly are exempt for obvious reasons, right? And the sickly, they're exempt from fasting for obvious reasons. But if you're physically capable, you fast, and you're allowed a pre-sunrise meal right before dawn and a post-sunset meal. Nothing in between, right? At the last day of Ramadan, and it's spelled EID dash AL dash FITR. Eid al-Fitr, I think is the way it's pronounced. Well, it's the last day of Ramadan, and it means the feast of breaking the fast. And the families get together and they have big feasts, much like we do what? On Easter Sunday, after not necessarily fasting, but after Lent. Right? To celebrate the end, and we celebrate of course we celebrate the resurrection and so forth, but it's a parallel there. So at the end of Ramadan, the last day, after a month of fasting and all that stuff, they have Eid al-Fitr, which is a lot like Easter is to us, and celebrate. Let's all go crazy. Let's have fun. Okay. So there are a lot of similarities, and I just wanted to look a little further into that. And there are 5 pillars of Islam. Okay. Daily prayer. Got no problem with that. Declaration of faith. At some point, you have to declaration of faith. I go to church, and there isn't a part of the mass is the Apostles' Creed. We believe in one God, God Almighty, Father, the Creator of heaven and earth. Right? We say that every time during mass. So any declaration of faith, the daily prayer, declaration of faith, which I don't know exactly what theirs is. Then there's pilgrimage to Mecca. One time during your life, you should get to Mecca. We don't have anything like that, but it would be tantamount to if we were required to, at one time of our life, get to Bethlehem or something like that. Fasting, especially during Ramadan. Okay, and we just talked about that. The last thing, donating money or time to charity, helping the needy. Hey, hallelujah, amen. That's something I can get down with. Donating money or time to charity, helping the needy. And that is Ramadan in a nutshell. And helping the needy moves me right into my next thing that I wanted to bring about. And this won't take long.
Can I quickly talk about, before we end Ramadan real quick, can I just say something that I thought was pretty cool when I read it? When the month of Ramadan starts, the gates of heaven are open and the gates of hell are closed and the devils are chained.
Yeah.
So that's pretty powerful, statement right there.
Yeah. And that is true. And there are other things I could have added on. I just trying to do more of it. You're right. It's good.
The bulk of the work for the Ramadan. I just wanted to get that in because that's a powerful type of thing. You think about that. It's like, what? The gates of heaven are open. Gates of hell are closed. Devils are chained.
This is what they believe, right? This is their belief.
It has all the buzzwords, right? It's got Ramadan, it's got heaven, it's got hell, it's got devils, it's got chain. You know what I mean? It just draws you in. You're like, what's going on?
And when I look at those things, Sean, when I look at the 5 pillars, I look at the Ramadan in and of itself, I don't hear anything that's ominous. Daily prayer, right?
That's why when they started, some of the Muslims started killing in the name of Muhammad. I'm like, what? Like, did this guy want people? I don't know a lot about the Prophet Muhammad. And I'm certainly not going to diss him because I just don't know a lot about, Muhammad or the religion. But I knew something was wrong when they started killing in the name of Muhammad. I'm like, they're killing in the name of Muhammad? What's going on here? But all religions through history, people have killed in the name of this.
Thank you.
Thing that sickens me is there's a lot of crusades and stuff, but killing in the name of Jesus, just to use a Jesus name in terms of war. I don't think Jesus ever wanted any war, dude.
No, he didn't. I'm sure that I don't know Muhammad. I'm sure that he was probably a pretty, if these.
Yo, Joe, I think you're on mute, buddy.
To Mecca fasting when
applicable. Joe, you disappeared for a second. You were on mute for a second. What were you saying?
Oh, When and I'm sure I don't know Muhammad, but I'm sure the guy was probably a reasonably compassionate individual, and he probably, when I look at the five pillars, I don't see anything that's mean or threatening. The daily prayer, declaration of faith, pilgrimage to Mecca, fasting, and donating to charity and helping the needy. That's all good stuff, brah. I
Yeah.
see nothing there that's
Okay.
really,
You
so.
wanted to talk about something else?
Yeah, in helping the needy. Unless I'm sure everyone's had the TV on at one time or another in the last couple of days, and we've had something really nasty ripping through Mississippi. We had a tornado ripping through Mississippi, and just as I asked people to do a month ago, for our friends in Turkey and our friends overseas, we've got domestic problems now too of the same ilk. We had, and just imagine you're here, you're laying in bed and you're comfortable and you're cozy, and all of a sudden you hear what sounds like a locomotive. It's coming bearing down on your house, and you're like, what is going on? And you feel everything shaking. Next thing you know, the walls are caving in and you're on the floor and you're wondering if you're going to live through this thing. And it lasts about 3 minutes, but you walk outside and your bathtub is on your neighbor's front lawn, and everything, all your papers, all your pictures, all your family stuff is blowing in the wind, and you look back at your house and there's nothing but rubble. You get my point. And you wonder, where the hell am I even going to sleep tonight? It's over. You look at the news and these poor people are going through hell. So I'm just asking everybody, for our brothers and sisters here on our homeland in Mississippi, if you can make a small donation, if everyone pitches in, and so all I'm asking is, this donation's $10, and we can all pretty much afford $10. It's 2 less cups of coffee a week at Wawa, maybe, or something like that. But if you can text, you can do it with your phone. You can do it with your phone. Text the word Red Cross, one word, Red Cross, to the number.
Before you, can I guess it, because we've said it so many times in the show?
Yes.
Is it 90999?
Thank you, sir. And I'm glad. That's it. Text the word Red Cross. All kidding aside, though, if you text the word Red Cross, one word, to 90999, this helps people who are victims of natural disasters. It just does. It goes right to there. And I just wanted to do that. It seemed like a nice place to put that right after donating time and money and helping the needy. So we're done with that. I'm glad to be.
Quickly, we have to mention this. We're flowing right now. I was going to wait for another part of the show, maybe the current event part, but let's quickly just touch on and put thoughts and prayers out for the Nashville shooting victims. Tragedy, sick to my stomach when I heard it. 6 people died, 3 were kids. The suspect and the villain in this story, which is sadly real life, was a 28-year-old disturbed trans person who just had a lot of issues and was able to get guns legally, despite being mentally ill and having emotional disturbances. Apparently they found, diagrams of the school, and I don't know what her pronoun is, he or she, but this person was going to go to the mall and shoot people at the mall too, possibly. I mean, it's just a sad, tragic story. So my thoughts and prayers are out to those people.
Me too. And I mean, a couple of things I want to say. I don't know whether or not the fact that she was a trans or not a trans, whatever. I don't know if
that's irrelevant, but I want to recognize.
Right. You're right.
We on this show do recognize trans people. So.
Exactly. I'm glad you said it's probably irrelevant. That has, but we do have to recognize that. So that's fine too. It could have been a straight woman. It could have been anybody. But anyway, Sean, little kids are, that's different. It's a different ball game. So
that's disturbing, man. Like, Matt, what? Even if you're like so severely emotionally disturbed, like, what? Unless they, hopefully they find out why she chose children. But it's like, I think she went to the school and everything. But it's like, I don't know. It's like to target like these poor little children. It's like, what is going on in society? Where, because usually it's like some angry student goes in and like wants revenge, or just like some disturbed student. But this is like an adult going into a school. It's like, this is weird.
And she killed, I think, 3 or 4 adults too.
Yeah, I think there was 3 kids, 6 died. I think 3 were adults. Yeah.
But I just, it's hard to even fathom. But let me just say this, and I'm not going to go down the typical route of gun control, gun laws, and all that stuff. Look, here's the thing, and I've been back and forth with this. I'm not going to blame any political party. I'm not going to do it. You know why, Sean? Because I've seen this. Listen, I cannot fathom being in fourth grade in 1974. I was in fourth grade. I cannot fathom my teacher, my parents, anybody sitting down with me and saying, listen, this is what we have to do, because sometimes there might be, we hope there isn't, but there might be a bad person going through the school with a gun. It was unconscionable, right? It was never even never. So I can't imagine what it's like today. But let me just say this about gun control. Even if, okay, because the left wants, hey, we want more checkpoints and so forth. We want more safety checks and background checks, so forth and so on, which in and of itself, at its face, is a good idea. And the right doesn't want it because, okay, they've got money with the NRA and National Rifle Association, so forth and so on. And that's fine too. But my thing is this: if tomorrow morning, Sean, the conservative right, if they were to come out and say, okay, you know what, left, we give in. You guys, you got it. You got it. Write the law the way you want it and so forth and so on. And the left could write these laws just exactly the way they want them, with background checks and all this stuff. I know realistically, it's probably not going to make a very big bit of difference, because these people who contemplate doing these heinous things, if you think by making something that used to be legal and now making it illegal, or making a teaspoon or two more difficult to acquire a gun, if you think that's going to stop them, you're silly. So, in other words, you can have all your safeguards and all your background checks and all that stuff. If this person, for example, that did this deed, I don't know how they acquired the gun, nor do I care, because it doesn't make a difference. If they went through the background checks and they got turned away, you know where they're going to go? They're going to go to the black market and they're going to get a gun and they're going to do the same goddamn thing. So my point is, it's this stuff, unfortunately. Forget the political parties. And like I said, if the conservative right were to acquiesce tomorrow morning and say, go ahead and you guys on the left write the law, it's not going to make a damn bit of difference, because if I'm going to do something as heinous as murdering kids, do you think I'm going to worry about whether or not I'm acquiring a weapon legally or illegally? Or you think it's going to stop me? You don't think I'm going to go find someone on the illegal black market and go find a freaking gun? I'm going to go get a gun.
Yeah, don't you think, to play a little devil's advocate here, don't you think just making it a little bit tougher to acquire that gun might give them more time to think about their decision?
It's a nice thought, Sean. And if I thought that the answer to that was yes, I'd agree with you, but I don't. If someone's head is in those places, and I can't even imagine, but if someone's head is in that place where they think this is what they want to do, they're just going to do it. And they don't give a rat's ass whether it's legal, whether it's illegal, whether there's a background check. Then what they'll do? They'll go find someone on the black market, and the people in the black market are saying, go ahead. We could use the extra money. We'll start selling these. We'll get more for them, and so forth and so on. So I just think it's something that, and I'm going to say this, I never thought I'd say it, but with this issue, I've come to accept, unfortunately, I wish I were wrong. I've come to accept that this is going to be part of our culture from henceforth, because every time this happens, everyone stands around and lights candles and talks about this has got to stop. This is it. Now this is good. And let me tell you something. After Sandy Hook, if that didn't stop anything, nothing's going to stop this shit. So it's part of our culture that, guess what? It's like car accidents kill people every year. Lightning kills people every year. Slipping and falling on the ice kills people every year. And these nightmare gun incidents are going to kill people every year, because every time it happens, people stand around and light candles and talk a lot of shit about what they're going to do and what they should do and what's got to stop. And then I'll tell you what, give this 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Give this 6 weeks. Oh, how faint indeed are the footprints we leave in the sands of time. And the wheel will keep going and going and going. And it's a cycle. And I've come to realize when I see a cycle, I see it. And this is where we are. And we'll be talking about this 10 years from now when someone does the same damn thing and all the ones in between. And from henceforth, I think, unfortunately, this is just a vulgar part of our culture that's never, ever going to change. And I hope I'm wrong. So I'm not getting worked up about it anymore.
Well said, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to our actor of the week. Woody Harrelson.
My heart breaks for everybody involved, though. Let me just put that out there. Yeah. Go ahead.
Actor of the week, Woody Harrelson. Born July 23rd, 1961. Born in Texas, I believe. Spent his first 12 years there, and then he moved to Lebanon, Ohio. His mother was a secretary. His father was a convicted hitman, dude. His father was a convicted hitman. Think about that, man.
That's funny because he played that in a movie. Like, what movie did I tell you I watched with your boy, the Irishman? Six Psychopaths or something like Seven Psychopaths or something.
Yeah.
He played a hitman in that movie, but go ahead.
He was in that? I had no idea.
Woody Harrelson? Yeah, he played a hitman.
Oh, because I'm looking at my list of movies that I got here. Did I forget to put Seven Psychopaths on my list? I don't know.
How did you do that, man?
He was definitely in Seven Psychopaths. I saw that so long ago, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Woody Harrelson, part of Seven Psychopaths. We just found that out. All right, so his dad was a hitman. He got his degree in theater arts and English from Hanover College, and apparently he was friends with Vice President Mike Pence while in college. His first break was.
I don't like him now. See, he's too conservative. I don't like him. No, I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
This is college. This is college, cuz.
I still like him. What the hell? You can't be doing that association thing. Come on. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I just, I know.
I digress.
First break was his role as Woody on Cheers, and you were alive during the '80s, bro. You probably remember him as Woody on Cheers.
Oh yeah, yep.
And his first breakout film role was 1991 for Doc Hollywood. So he was on Cheers, and he won a Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. So he had some pretty good. He was building his pedigree early on. Like he was slowly building his resume and his reputation in Hollywood. He was ascending. He ascended to A-list. I think he's A-list for sure. But he ascended pretty early on with, he had a good role, perfect roles for him. I didn't even watch Cheers, but I could picture him as a bartender for sure. And it's kind of funny. His name is Woody Harrelson. His name is Woody on Cheers too. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's just a fun fact. He voiced his Cheers character Woody on a 1994 episode of The Simpsons, also on a 1999 episode of Frasier. He appeared on Curb Your Enthusiasm in 2021 as himself, one of my favorite shows of all time. So when he first started, basically, he moved to Houston with his friend to save money. And he told his friend that if he got accepted into Juilliard, he would move there with him and his friend got accepted. So he moved to New York. His car got towed when he first got to New York City. Him and his friend went to try to steal it back because they couldn't afford to pay the fee. But then security called them and they had to pay $75. So this is one of the most fun parts about studying these actors is I watch their interviews and I wait for little insights. I wait for little stories. And I hope when I share them on the show, I hope it's valuable or insightful in some way because it kind of gives you a peek into who Woody Harrelson is. He's kind of like he's a little bit of a loose cannon in certain ways. I mean, his dad was a hitman, obviously something in genetics is going on. He's a little bit wild, he wanted to just go back and steal the car back. That takes some balls, but, he said there's another thing that takes, that leads to my conclusion about him being kind of a loose cannon. I mean, he went through about 17 jobs in New York City. He couldn't hold a job. He bartended, but couldn't handle the pressure of reciting menu to customers as a server. He ended up being a cook and got into a fight with the manager's husband. And he said, "No, you can take this job and keep it." And she told him he can't quit. Then later she attacked him with a door and Arnold Schwarzenegger stepped in. True story. Then the cops came and he lost his money and he left New York that day. He's been nominated for 3 Academy Awards. He just hosted SNL recently. I love Woody Harrelson. I think the dude is the man. He's cool as hell. Probably fun to hang out with. He just seems he smokes a lot of pot. You know what I mean? He's chill.
Yeah.
Let's go over the movies that he's been in. Remember that movie Wildcats, dude, from 1986.
Wow, I can't remember. Oh, was Goldie Hawn? Was it Goldie Hawn? Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, he was in Doc Hollywood. What about White Man Can't Jump, man?
Oh yeah, because Rosie Perez was in that. I'm a big Rosie Perez. I love Rosie Perez. But yeah, I remember that very well.
Yeah. He was. It looks like he was in 3 episodes of Saturday Night Live in '89 to '92. I didn't know this. I don't know if he was a cast member, what was going on, or he was trying out. I don't know, but he was in 3 episodes for those 3 years. I don't think he obviously wasn't. I don't think I could say this for matter of factly. I don't think maybe he hosted. Did you remember him? I don't know if you watched it back in the day, but do you remember Harrelson hosting back in the '80s? I don't know. I
I
wasn't
don't
around.
remember. If he says he did, I believe him, but I don't ever remember. And Woody Harrelson's a guy that's like, he's a cool dude. He's all right to me, but it's
Yeah.
not like
Let me
I
just
don't
go
have
over
as
his
much
resume, sir.
enthusiasm as you do, but it's okay.
Yeah. Let me just go over his resume, and then you can talk some crap about Woody.
I'm not talking any crap.
That's passive aggressive, sir.
I know.
He was in Natural Born Killers in '94.
Go ahead, mess around and do that.
Kingpin, The People vs. Larry Flint.
Remember that. You there, bro?
But let me just get to my top five, right? Number one, Kingpin from 1996. One of the funniest movies I've ever seen. About a bowler, and he kind of plays, he finds this like prodigy Amish bowler, and he tries to be his like mentor and stuff, and it's pretty damn funny, man. Did you see Kingpin? Joe, I think you're on mute again.
I'm sorry. I accidentally bumped the thing. We good now?
Yeah.
Okay. I do remember that. No one can forget that scene where he wakes up. He was drunk, and he wakes up the next morning, and he's looking at
Oh my God.
and he's throwing up
Because he hooked up with that lady because he couldn't afford rent. It was, oh my God. That scene.
and he's throwing up every time he looks at her.
He was a heavy smoker and stuff, and you should see, this wasn't a pleasant looking woman, and he, it was like, dude, what do you like? But he's an ex-alcoholic in the movie. It's like one of those things, man.
Yeah, and yeah, there were a couple of scenes in that
No,
movie that
doesn't he have
actually pretty freaking vulgar, but it was funny.
He's got a rubber hand, and like at one point he's bowling, and the rubber hand gets stuck in the ball or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my number one. I thought that movie, like, I could watch that. It's like that movie's like Dumb and Dumber to me. I could just put that on. Billy Madison, Dumb and Dumber, Happy Gilmore. I could just old school Wedding Crashers. I can throw those movies on and just crack up. I love those movies.
Yeah.
Number two, True Detective, an HBO show. Excellent HBO show. The first season was probably the best.
Yes.
He was in that. He was excellent in that.
Was he with Matthew McConaughey or whatever his name is?
Yeah, McConaughey. Yep.
Yeah, that's the only True Detectives that I saw, because started to watch the next season. I'm like, this bites, as opposed to the first one.
Yeah,
even the first one, it was good, but it was dark, dude. It was dark.
Yeah, yeah. Then my third is a movie I actually just saw a couple weeks ago called Champions. Joe, I think you'll actually love this movie. He plays a kind of a tarnished coach. The basketball coach gets a DUI, and then his community service is to go teach people with intellectual disabilities, like Down syndrome and whatnot. Yeah. And it's just it's a lovely story, and it's kind of, see a guy going from being kind of an asshole to kind of like a better guy,
a good dude. Yeah.
And, the people, the actors in that, the actors with Down syndrome, and they're really funny, and they're lovely in that movie,
Yeah, and as long as they didn't, and I'm sure they didn't, as long as they didn't make it funny at their expense.
No,
and I'm sure they did not. I'm sure they did not.
This was well done, because there's kind of like they did some things at their expense. It's called The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville. He actually infiltrates the Special Olympics and pretends like he's handicapped, mentally handicapped, and that's a little bit on the borderline. I don't know if they could make that today in this day and age.
Yeah.
But no, Champions is really well done and good taste. White Man Can't Jump is number 4. And what I got for number 5, actually, I'm surprised I chose this. If he was he really in Seven Psychopaths? Let me look this up real quick, dude.
Oh, I just watched it a month ago, man.
Yeah, but
because I had never seen it, so I wanted to check it out. I'm like, damn, I watched it for
Yeah, he plays a guy named Charlie in it. It was one of those movies. I think I was probably on my phone or half paying attention. It's from 2012, so I don't remember that clearly, but damn, I mean, that is all I remember about that movie. It was pretty good, but Christopher Walken was in it, Sam Rockwell was in it, Colin Farrell was in it. So we've already done Sam Rockwell, I've already done Colin Farrell. So
Yes,
now
yes,
we're doing Woody. So that just shows you that that cast is pretty damn good.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, but that I was gonna choose that as number five, but it's last second. So I went with War for the Planet of the Apes. I'm a big Planet of the Apes franchise fan. I love those movies, Planet of the Apes. And he was in one in 2017 called War for the Planet of the Apes. Did you have to see this, Joe? The CGI and the way they made the apes look and everything, and how they're fighting and using guns and talking.
You know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to mess around and go back and watch the original because I've never seen
Yeah,
any
dude,
of them.
I did that. I did it a couple of years ago. I watched like pretty much all the Planet of the Apes that exist, and I got so into it, dude.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and start from like Charlton Heston and work all
Yeah,
the way up.
because there's even one they made with Mark Wahlberg from like 2000. Like I got that for Christmas on DVD one year. Mark Wahlberg was in it, but the one with Woody Harrelson is not connected to the Wahlberg one. It's just so much. It's way better. It's a lot better. But anyway,
That's cool.
Woody's the man. I love him. And Joe, I think you should just keep your words to yourself if you have anything to say bad about Woody, sir.
Oh no, I don't have a darn thing to say about him bad. I just don't. I'm not being quite the like when you asked me, do I remember him hosting Saturday Night Live? I wouldn't because I'm not that crazy about what I mean. But if you were to ask me if Jagger ever, that
Yeah.
kind of a thing or something like that, or whatever. But it's so yeah. I mean, I think he's a good dude. He seems like a good dude. Fairly funny. Been around a long time. I think that I don't think he's the best looking dude in the world. I don't think he's
That's what makes him cool as hell. Like he's one of like a lot of A-listers are like extremely attractive.
yeah,
And Woody Harrelson, listen, I like women. I love females, right? So it's not for me to say. I would have to get a female's perspective. It's not for me to say, but just objectively, like, yeah, Woody's not like a supermodel, but he's your everyday guy. He's a cool guy. The thing about him is he fits into a lot of different roles, probably also because the way he looks and everything, his whole vibe just gives him that, he's got that presence about him that he just could, people could write a script and it's like, oh,
right.
let's cast Woody. Woody's going to fit in that role. He could be the leading man, or he could be like another, like you said, he's
Oh,
psychopaths. Like he was a hit, this guy is so versatile. That's what I love about him.
oh yeah, and let me just be clear. I'm not saying that looks have to be a prerequisite for being a good actor. I,
But
I
he's not,
told
let's
you
just say this.
Paul Giamatti, and there are lots
Like,
of guys that lots of average looking dudes and below average looking dudes that have to make a living as an actor because they have to represent
we talked
society.
about,
Let me
yeah,
finish.
yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
I
Um,
want to get in. I just want
my
to say that we're not
My
saying
only reason I bring it up, dude, the only reason I bring it up is because I can remember, and I'm going back 15 years or so, that he was talking with someone in an interview, and he said something about, well, why would she want him when she can have Woody Harrelson? Like he was making himself out to be, and I'm thinking, like, dude, you look like a freaking jack-o'-lantern, dude. You're a good actor, but you're not that good. And he's like making himself out to be like Brad Pitt, and I'm like, yo, cuz. Dude,
was he being sarcastic?
no, he was like being serious. You know how these cats can get when they get a little success. They're like, well, I'm a big actor. Yeah, just because you're a big actor doesn't mean you're a good looking dude. Cause I'm just being real with you. Go look at
Yeah.
your whole, but that's the way it has to be anyway, because actors have to represent, it's a microcosm of society, right? You can't have all tens walking around
Exactly.
New York City. You
Yeah.
have to
Okay.
have some threes, fours, sevens. You have to, so,
You
and
said,
same with actors.
let me just ask you a quick question. I don't think Woody Harrelson's ugly by any means, but
No,
hey,
but
who do
he's
you think
certainly not.
who's better looking, Woody Harrelson? Because we did Paul Giamatti too. Who's better looking, Woody Harrelson or Paul Giamatti?
Oh, well, Woody's better looking than Paul. Yeah, that's fine. But I mean, I forget who they were even comparing him to, but the dude was better looking than he was. But he was just like being real cocky. Like, and I'm
Because
thinking like
he's the confidence.
if a lot of these dudes get laid, it's because they're actors that have a lot of money and they're well known. If he were a plumber, it'd be a whole different ball game, wouldn't it? I mean, so but if Brad Pitt were a plumber, he'd still be getting. So
Yeah.
that's my point. That's all. I
Can I just say
digress.
this? Can I just say this,
It's
dude?
good.
You are in rare form tonight. You are on fire. The way you were talking about the action movies, the way you're calling out
Sometimes you get
like
it up to
no,
up to here with all the bullshit. You know what
but
I mean?
no, but,
Nah,
but what I'll say is like I like it, man. You were like you're a little bit loose tonight. You're flowing. What I'm saying is you're having a good show, sir.
yeah. Oh, thank you, sir. And look, I'm human. Sometimes I'm going to be like anything else. Sometimes I'm going to be a little more quiet. Sometimes I'm going to be a little more lively. I guess I'm just into it tonight.
Yeah.
And the right triggers are being, so, I mean, a lot of these dudes get in there and they get lucky breaks. And don't blame them. That's the dream life. But just because someone is an actor look at Mike and Molly. Remember the show Mike and Molly?
You never watched
Either one of those two people like really turn you on. No, but they're movie stars. They're actors. Okay, well, it doesn't. It's not like an equation where successful actor or actress equals hot. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work that way. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. So Woody Harrelson, I think he's a phenomenal actor. I think he's the man. Shout out to Woody. So let's move on to Snapple Fact. The Snapple Fact, Joe, is 185. A male kangaroo is called a boomer. A female is called the Snapple Fact is the boomer one, but I did some more research. The female is called the flyer.
You know what a baby kangaroo is called?
Let me see. What's a baby kangaroo called?
Come on.
We're not doing another reel. I'm gonna look this up. I'm just kidding. What is a baby kangaroo called?
Joey.
Oh, really?
Word up.
I don't know if you should tell the audience now. Now people are gonna start calling you baby kangaroo or something.
Call me baby kangaroo, man. I hop around a little bit.
You don't have to edit that. You don't have to edit that out, bro. I'm just kidding. But I did some research. I tried to find out the origin of why they called the male kangaroo a boomer, and I couldn't find out why. You know what I mean? I'm like, why do they call it a boomer? I'm like, I guess it's the name of the male kangaroo, but I digress. Let's move on to On the Reel, dude. On the Reel. You ready, Joe? Ready to be
Yes,
stuck?
sir.
Okay.
Yep.
First story. First headline. Actor finally lands key role after 2,317 auditions spanning 25 years. Story number 2. Man has license plate recalled after ILUV tits. I love tits is deemed to be too vulgar. The state made him remove the license plate. Story number 3. A dog steals the show after catching home run ball during spring training game.
On the reel? You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. On the reel would be the dog catching the ball.
You saw that in the news, man.
Saw it in the news. Like, what am I going to do?
Because I changed it. Did you see the one with the license plate too, though?
No, I did not, and I don't think that's too vulgar.
I would have got you because what I did with the license plate one, I used the same story, but I changed the name of the license plate. The license plate one was. Let me look this up real quick. Hold on. I think it was I love to F. I love to F. I love to, you could fill in the blank there. I love to F.
Well,
so I thought you would have saw that in the news, so I changed it to I love tits instead. And I guess you saw the dog one, so I guess I kind of ruined the game.
Yeah, well, look, I have to admit, I saw the dog one, and being a dog lover, it caught my attention. Like, wow, dude, I saw a license plate one time that said FAH-QUE. Fuck you. And I couldn't believe it. It was, and it was permissible. It wasn't too vulgar. That's why when you said this one about the I love tits thing, I said, well, that's not out of line. Now, even the one that you described, it depends on how they spelled, if they left the C out, it was FBI. But in what state would they do? Maybe Texas or something like that, I guess. I don't know. What state did they deem that to be that wasn't a real story anyway.
No, it was.
Oh, yeah. Yes, right. You said that you changed it. The real one was right. Now, where was that? What state?
At the last second, the guy was in Maine. It was
Maine.
It was LUVTOFU.
LOVTO.
Love to F. FU. Love to FU.
Oh, but did they say F or did they really come out and say the word?
No, the license plate just says LUVTOFU. So basically saying.
Oh wow! I know. I get the thing, but that's crazy that was deemed.
Dude, I'm kind of mad because I don't know because
dude, I saw
that was my real story. That was my real story that I was going to stump you, but I'm like, Joe probably saw this. It's been all over the news. Then I saw the dog one, but even though I didn't stump you with the dog one because you saw it in the news, whatever. That's a crazy story that the dog caught a baseball in a baseball game. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I still didn't actually see the catch. I heard about it and this and that, and then by the time I turned my head, the dog already had the ball in his mouth, so I didn't actually see the catch. I didn't bother, but I'm glad the dog didn't get hurt because that ball's coming along. That's not
Yeah,
like lobbing a ball out back.
yeah.
That's a hard ball, and that's coming from now. There's deceleration and all that still, but I mean, damn. I mean, I'm telling you, that dog he ought to get something special that night. Maybe take him to Wendy's and get him a Baconator or
Well,
something
you want
that
to hear
night.
something else that's kind of funny, dude? I saw a couple months ago, I saw a dog. There's a video of a dog who just carries around at I think it was a 25 or 50 pound dumbbell. This guy's dog, instead of, and he doesn't like toys. He likes carrying around heavy dumbbells. I'm like, what's going on?
You gotta love dogs. They're awesome.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
All right, quick Kohberger update. I want to hear your opinion on this, Joe. Brian, I didn't even know Bryan Kohberger had sisters. I thought this guy was just like, I thought he was just like the son of friggin', I thought he was came straight out of the gates of hell and just entered our society.
Yeah, hell spawn. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Spawn, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
got sisters apparently. This I can't feel bad about. He's got sisters, two sisters, Melissa and Amanda. One was a counselor, one was an actress. They lost their jobs over their relationship with their brother, even though they refused to visit him in jail.
Oh,
They got fired from their job just for being related to this joker.
that to me, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. There's no way. I mean, because it's, I just don't see, I don't see how that's not a lawsuit waiting to happen. I just don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
the one's a school counselor. It's like the school, because she would probably have to deal with a lot of people in school might start like messing with her, be like, oh, you're related to, or they might shun her, but in no means should she lose her job. That scares me about society. It's like, okay, so if I'm related to someone that's like really bad, they do something bad, I'm related to them, therefore I'm gonna have my whole life turned. Like, come on.
yeah, and it's look, is it a little uncomfortable? Yeah, that was the sister of such and such or the brother of such and such, but that in no way suggests that, what are they afraid that they're going to do the same damn, I just, I mean, I could sit down with Adolf Hitler's sister and have lunch and have a good time. And she's liable, probably, I don't know if he ever had any sibling. I don't even know. But I mean, as much as I deplore Adolf Hitler or Ted Bundy or any, and any of these jokers, a sibling is a sibling that could have probably has absolutely no, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Hitler had a younger brother and sister, and also an older half brother and half sister. Apparently,
Yeah.
there's a website called Hitler'sChildren.com, if you can believe that.
Yeah, I mean, you could sit down, but those people are probably fine. I mean, and the matter of fact, it's hard for them. Life is how hard is life for
Dude, I
them
saw a
after
story about
knowing
that.
that
You got
it's
me
got to
thinking
be
about it.
horrible.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got me thinking because I saw a story where like there's people who just having the last name Hitler, even though they're not related to Hitler, like they get like their lives are messed with a little bit because people see their last name and like they have to change their name and stuff. Apparently.
yeah. It's
So yeah, man.
it's sad. It's sad.
Absolutely. All right, so we'll do a quick current event today because we went pretty long because we opened up with more sports. I wanted to open up the show with the Final Four the tournament because it's like, that's such a big event. I love March Madness. So, we'll do a quick article here. It's very light because we did a lot of heavy topics today.
Yeah, man.
The article is from New York Times. At Apple, rare dissent over a new product, interactive goggles. Apple is expected to unveil an augmented reality headset in a few months. Some employees wonder if the device makes sense for Apple. So apparently Apple is going to be selling this goggles that look like ski goggles that are going to cost $3,000. There's an unproven market because what I remember, Google Glass got released like in 2013. Google Glass just got discontinued. Google Glass was like, I think it was like $1,500, not cheap at all, but this is like double the price.
Is it virtual reality or something?
No, it's basically like if someone it's like you wear this headset, it's for virtual and augmented reality. So if someone's connected to you and like you could be in like France, right?
Right.
And someone could be in New Jersey and they could put on these goggles and they walk around and they could see everything you're seeing and like see information about what you're seeing and like talk to you. Hey, what do you think about that place? Go in that place, or they have good food. You know, it's a whole interactive
Ah,
sharing experience, right?
oh.
Um, it's really just like a lot. There's been a lot of people at Apple apparently like who aren't on board with it, who really just like um who want this thing to go forward. They think it's kind of a risk for Apple, but Apple's been ahead of their time. Like the Apple Watch originally, they had to pivot. They made Apple Watch into more of a fitness thing. But at first, the Apple Watch was supposed to do a lot. It was supposed to be used in a lot of different ways, I believe. But yeah, this is some sort of there's a reality dial that can increase or decrease real-time video from the world around them. So there's a reality dial. It won't fit over glasses, so the company plans to sell prescription lenses for the displays. Um, the signature application is called Co-Presence. It's supposed to design to capture the experience of sharing a real or virtual space with someone in another place. Also can double as a tool for artists, designers, and engineers. It tracks them as they draw freely in space and image, editing applications, hand gestures. So there's a lot of use for it, but I don't know what the market is for $3,000. Like, and who's going to walk around wearing this thing? Like, if you're super rich and you go on vacation and like you're in a long-term relationship, I could see some, some specific like niches for this device, but I probably wouldn't buy it for 3,000 unless I was like loaded.
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is I would be hesitant to wear something that's so expensive like that unless they could make them to really make them look like a normal pair of glasses.
Well, they did that. They
Because
did Google Glass had something that looked like glasses. And but what's your fear? Like if they're too, someone could like steal them easily?
say, yeah, look at this. Look at this Joker walking around. He's from Omaha, Nebraska,
Well,
and he's
but it
walking
could be
around
like
here
the
with.
iPhone though. It could be like, it could have the iPhone, the Apple Watch, and the iPad. It could have all the Apple devices have a tool to find your device, your iPhone,
That's
if it
true.
gets
Find
lost.
my iPhone, find this and that. But still, do you want to go through that? Do you want to?
But
I
you
don't.
want to
I
hear
don't.
something crazy, dude? There's a guy that I know who got his phone stolen. He tracked his phone, went to the guy's house, called the cops.
Good
And
for him.
the cops said they couldn't do anything, and he couldn't like confront the guy about the phone, or else there'd be a lawsuit or something like that. So he couldn't get his phone back, even though he knew where it was, and he called the cops.
Oh
This is
man,
New Jersey.
I don't know, man. Crazy, crazy stuff. You know, with all this stuff that's going on, it's like this new program, this AI program, this
Yeah,
iBot or
ChatGPT
whatever.
talked about this. ChatGPT, man.
Yeah, I think, I think that technology is like fire. It can be your best friend, or if it gets out of control, it can be a hell of a bad enemy, right? So of course it's going to be your best friend. You need fire on your stove to cook, to keep if you're out somewhere, you build a fire, you keep your hands warm and this and that. But if a fire gets out of control, God knows, right? So technology, it's like at some point this stuff could get so out of control that it's detrimental. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's a little scary to think. And first of all, and that's A, and B is there such a thing as privacy anymore? I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know if there's cameras everywhere. You don't even know,
yeah. I mean,
So I don't
I listen. I'm all about having a lot of surveillance and cameras to prevent crime and also capture the bad people. Um, but yeah, technology is getting. Listen, I'll just put it on record here. I think ChatGPT is game changer. We talked about this on the show before. I think it's a great thing, but it has a mind of its own. It has so much data, and people can use it in nefarious ways. Like I saw people
know.
using it for a lot of things. Like one thing I'll say about ChatGPT is that someone's dog got sick. The vet couldn't figure it out. So the person figured out how to, the proper commands to enter into ChatGPT with all, what look for this, with the dog's sick, this type of thing. And it diagnosed the dog and it saved the dog's life. The vet couldn't even figure it out. So there's stories like that where you're like,
Right.
whoa. And there's also
There,
stories where ChatGPT has already solved some form of cancer. It has so much data. It's more intelligent than any doctor in the world, obviously. Obviously, it doesn't have the human intuition and that type of thing, but the X factors that humans have. But it's doing a lot of great things. But I agree. It's kind of dangerous too at certain ways.
exactly. It can be really beneficial. Your best friend on one hand, but if using nefariously, on the other hand, it can be really, really detrimental. And it's just one of those things, man.
Yeah,
It's a little scary. So we just have to
yeah.
cross our fingers and hope for the best here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too concerned, but yeah, I can see some nefarious things happening. But yeah, that was current events for today. We kept it light. We opened up with sports about the tournament. I want to quickly talk about what's going on with the. We'll talk more. We'll talk more NFL draft as it gets closer to the draft. But I'm hearing that like the Jets might actually try to see if they can get Lamar Jackson instead of getting Rodgers because the Packers want too much for Rodgers. Like, what do you think about that, man? I think just get Rodgers. Don't overpay, but get Rodgers because you have a Super Bowl window with Rodgers. I don't think Lamar Jackson is ever going to win a Super Bowl, but I could be proven wrong, man.
I
We know what you think about Lamar, but would you? Let's just ask you a simple question to keep this short, because everybody, we all know you don't love Lamar. You
I
like
don't dislike him. I just
yeah,
don't.
you
I
like
think
the classic pocket
he's
passers.
overrated. Right.
Yeah, but like, do you think that? Like, would you rather, if you were a Jets fan, would you rather have Lamar Jackson for the next like 8 years, or Aaron Rodgers for like 2?
If I were a Jets fan, I'd rather have Rodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a couple years. Yeah,
Absolutely, man. And you hear about Ben Simmons, man? The Nets, he's the guy is so he's so bad. Like the Nets don't even need him anymore. I think they deactivated Simmons for the rest of the season, even though they're going to be in the playoffs. They don't even need Simmons anymore.
that guy had the biggest hustle for the last 5 years, he's had the biggest hustle. The money that he has raked in, and he's just stood around in his pretty little outfits and shot during warm-ups a little bit and had his picture taken and all this stuff, all for you could take his last 4 or 5 years, it doesn't make for a damn thing, but he's gotten filthy rich. So unbelievable. I don't care too much for him, man.
Yeah, he's kind of I don't know. I heard someone told me that like something happened to his sister. He's got some emotional distress because like his sister was assaulted or something like that, and like
I'm certainly sorry about that.
He's got some mental things going on, and I don't want to judge him completely, but what I've seen over the years is he used to be a very good player, like an all-star type player, and he's
in college,
he's fallen off. No, but even in the pros, man, for the Sixers, he was pretty damn good. Now he's just awful. He's not even playable, dude. They shut him down.
Well, he was never.
He was good on the Sixers. He was a good defender.
Great defender. Great defender.
But what I'm saying, from where he was to where he is now, it's like, oh man.
Yeah. He went from a pretty good.
Remember the one postseason where he missed that wide open layup, or he was afraid to take the wide open.
He was afraid to take it because he was afraid to wind up on the foul line to be exposed for the fraud that he is.
Exactly. So I don't know. This guy's so talented. It's a shame that he can't, put it together, and he's fallen off a lot. That playoffs really kind of ruined his whole.
It is a shame for basketball fans, but for him, he's got so the money he has, Sean, unbelievable. I mean, the money he's made. I don't know. He's got to have, a couple $100 million.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I just want to quickly go over the playoff picture in the NBA. My team, the Knicks, are in 5th place, 43-33. Your team, the Sixers, are 3rd place, 49-26. You guys already clinched the playoff spot. The Knicks haven't yet, but I believe the Knicks just have to win 2 more games. It's a formality at this point. The Knicks are going to make the playoffs. I think we're going to be playing the Cavs in the first round. That's probably what's going to happen. I think you guys are playing the Nets actually. So that's probably, that would have been funny to see Simmons versus Sixers in a whole playoff series. That would have been interesting too. He probably couldn't have stand it. He would have got heckled so much. He probably would have just had a breakdown. But the Western Conference, I got the Nuggets MVP race, dude. I think Embiid, everyone's talking about Embiid's going to win MVP. I think if he stays healthy, I think Embiid's going to, because Dan Patrick said there's kind of voter fatigue. Jokic probably deserves MVP, but there's voter fatigue. He's won it 2 times in a row, and it's kind of Joel Embiid's time, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think you could take it and give it to Joker. Joker. You give it to Joker, Giannis, or Joel. I think really in either way you should give it to him. And the way I look at it is, look, every year you could give it to any one of those 3 guys. And in any of the last 3 or 4 years, you could give it to any of those 3 guys. So give it to the guy who you haven't given it to yet. It's just that simple. Really is.
Yeah. All right. So March Madness, let's just tell everybody now, we're not doing another show until 2 weeks from now. So there's no episode next week. The national title game is next Monday night. Also have some plans on Tuesday. So no show for 2 weeks. So I guess right now is the time for, I wanted to think about this more, but if I want to make a prediction for who's going to win the NCAA title, I think the final, I can just see the storyline. I think I'm going to go with UConn winning it all, but I don't know if they're going to be playing San Diego State or Florida Atlantic. San Diego State's favored by 2 points. Man, I think it's going to be UConn versus Florida Atlantic, and I think UConn wins. That's my prediction.
I got UConn against the Aztecs, and guess what? The Aztecs are national champions.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, they're a 5 seed, right? They're a pretty decent ball club, you know?
Yep.
You got me saying ball club now, man. I never used to, I used to say like team and stuff. Like, I've heard you say ball club. Like, by osmosis, when you're good friends with somebody, you start picking up on little things that they say. Kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, good show today, brother. Show is back in 2 weeks. All the links for social media are on. Please subscribe, like. It really encourages us. We're not telling you to do any reviews by any means. We don't even need the reviews. However, it encourages to have the ratings and keep the momentum going, the numbers up. We're enjoying doing the show. We're not stopping doing the show. Joe, the final word is yours, sir.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Good night.
Take care.